Good morning, Year 1. I hope you're ready for our maths lesson today. Now, in our last lesson, we started looking all at length, and we're going to be doing a little bit more of this today. In our last lesson, we were estimating length using our hands and our feet. Now, today, we're not going to be using our hands and feet. We are going to be comparing different things. So you might need to, at the end of the lesson, find lots of things in your house that you're going to compare the length of, okay? But for the time being, you're just going to be comparing the length of the things that are with me, okay? You don't need anything other than a pencil and a piece of paper. Okay, make sure you've got that, and then we are ready. So put me on pause, make sure you've got those things. Fantastic, we are ready. So let's do our do now and see if we can recap some of our knowledge. So we were estimating using hands and feet in our last lesson. So I want you to estimate which of these you think is the tallest. Is it the door, the chair, or the Hoover? Okay, now this isn't going to take us very long, so I'm only going to give you 10 seconds, putting me on pause. Right, well, what do we think is the tallest? Well, they're all pretty tall, but one of them is definitely taller than the others. Now, what do you think is the tallest? Well done, you think the door is the tallest. Why do you think the door's the tallest? Because you estimate that the chair is possibly around 5-6 hands. And how much did we think the Hoover was? 7, 6? That's okay. It doesn't matter if we get a different answer because remember, we're estimating. We're not actually measuring, okay? And how many did we estimate the door was? Many more than that. Oh, I'm hearing lots of different numbers. 10, 9, 7. Would 100 be a good estimate? No, that would be a silly estimate. Very good. Fantastic. So today we are going to be comparing objects measurement. We're going to be looking at the length of these objects and comparing them against each other. Now, we're not actually using anything to help us measure today. We're going to be using the objects themselves and comparing their length, okay? So, for this, we need to remember these words. Can you say long, short, tall, longer, longest, shorter, shortest, taller, tallest? Very good. So these are all measuring length, or some of them are measuring height. When we're looking at long and short, we're measuring length, and when we're looking at short and tall, we're measuring height. Fantastic. So when we're looking at height, just looking at from a distance, we can tell if someone is taller and if someone is shorter. So when I look at this boy here, I can see that he is taller than the girl. The girl is definitely shorter than the boy because with them stood next to each other, you can see which one is the taller. That means he is the tallest, which makes her the shortest, okay? So when we're looking at our measurements and we're comparing, we can use these words to help us. We've got the boy who's taller and the girl is shorter, okay? Now they can't both be taller. When we're comparing, one is one thing and one is the other. There is always going to be a taller or a shorter, okay? If we're comparing more than one, there might be one in between. But if we're only comparing two, one must be the tallest and one must be the shortest. Same with length. If I'm comparing the crocodile and the caterpillar, I know that the crocodile, looking at it, is longer than the caterpillar. The crocodile is most definitely longer than the caterpillar because look, his tail starts here and he's still going when we've gone past the caterpillar. So he's definitely longer, which means the caterpillar is shorter than the crocodile. The caterpillar is the shortest between these two. which makes the crocodile the longest. Okay, we're comparing them again. One is always going to be the longest and one will always be the shortest. In this case, the caterpillar was the shortest and the crocodile was the longest. When we're looking at arrows, we can use arrows to help us. When I look at these arrows, we start with the tallest and it goes down and down and down and down until we get to the shortest. Now these arrows in the middle here, they're not going to be tallest or shortest, but we can say that this is nearly the tallest, but it's not quite the tallest yet. And this one is almost the shortest, but it's not the shortest. Okay, so here we've got the tallest arrow and here we've got the shortest arrow. Can you see that? Can you see how it goes down in height, measuring height? One thing that we can definitely measure in height is ourselves. If Miss Banfield was to measure her height against someone in the class, I would definitely find that I am taller. I am the tallest. And that would make the child the shortest. So you could have a go at the end of this, measuring yourself against you and your family, seeing who the tallest and the shortest is. Now, when we're looking at length, we are also looking at longest to shortest. Okay, shortest is in both height and length. The difference here is we look for the longest and the shortest. Okay, when you look at these arrows, we start and they get bigger and bigger until it is the longest arrow. They are increasing in length. Okay, we know this arrow is the longest because it is the biggest, it is the longest out of all of the arrows, which makes it the longest. And this one, when you look, is the shortest of the arrows. This is the shortest measurement of length. If these were ties, this would be the longest tie and this one would be the shortest tie. When we're looking at cubes, we can definitely see the difference when we're comparing them, because when we put them next to each other, we can see which is the longest, which is the shortest, which is the tallest, and which is the shortest. Okay, that's how we compare, by putting them next to one another to find out which is which. So let's see if you remember whether we're measuring height or length. So let's see. These ones over here, longest to shortest, is that measuring height or length? What is it measuring? Longest to shortest? Height, absolutely. This is measuring. Well done. I was trying to trick you. It's not measuring height, is it? Very good. It is measuring length. Longest to shortest is measuring our length. It is telling us whether it is long or short. That is measuring length. Well done. So what does this make? Shortest to tallest? Measuring height. Well done. When we're measuring height, we need to say shortest or tallest. Fantastic. Okay, well, I think we're ready to start comparing the lengths of objects. So Miss Banfield has got a group of objects. She is going to have a go comparing their length and deciding which is the longest and which is the shortest. Okay, so I'm going to get a toothpaste and a book. So here we go. Here is my toothpaste. And here is my book. I want to measure both of these two things together. Now what I have to do is I have to make sure that they are both next to each other. Can I measure it when it's like this? No, I can't, because when they're just on top of each other, it's going to be very hard to measure their length. So what I have to do is I have to put it in a sensible position. So I'm going to lay my book here. When I look at my book, I already can think about how long or short it is. At the moment, I think it's pretty long in comparison, but I don't know yet until I bring the toothpaste in if it is the longest or the shortest. So I'm going to bring my toothpaste in to measure it. Now it's very important when I get my toothpaste that I put it on the same line that I've started my book on. I'm not going to put it here. I'm not going to put it here. I need to make sure it's on the same line. So they're both on roughly the same line, I'd say. Now we can look, okay? I'm going to move my finger along and I'm going to stop when I get to the end of an object. Doing that, I'm going to be able to work out which is the shortest and the longest. Okay, so I'm going to move my finger along. I'm moving it along, I'm moving it along. Oh, and I've stopped because we've reached the end of the toothpaste, but we haven't reached the end of the book. This means the toothpaste is the shortest and the book is the longest. Fantastic. So when I'm measuring, I've just compared these two measurements. I haven't used a ruler or anything to help me. I'm just using my eyes and I've looked and I can see that this is the longest and the toothpaste is the shortest. So I know that the book is the longest and the toothpaste is therefore the, I can't hear you, the shortest. Where, oh, it won't let me finish my word. So this is the longest and this one is the shortest. Okay. Oh dear, oh dear. Here we go. Shortest. Fantastic. And what I'm going to do is whenever I'm deciding which is the longest and the shortest, for my longest, I'm going to do a long arrow. And for my shortest, I'm going to do a small arrow. Okay. So if I do my long arrow, it's the longest. And if I do my short arrow, it is the shortest. So when we compared the book and the toothpaste, we found that the toothpaste was the shortest and the book was the longest. Very good. Okay, this time we're going to compare some different items and you're going to help me. Okay, we're going to try and compare the length of a highlighter, a pencil and a Pritt stick. Okay, so I'm going to get those items. I'm comparing a Pritt stick, a highlighter and a pencil. Aha, can you see those? Fantastic. Now when I put them like this, I can already start to estimate that they look very similar heights. We're not measuring height. Well done. Length. They all look very similar lengths. But I need to make sure I measure them. Now this time I've got three things. That's okay because I can still figure out what the longest and the shortest is. What do I need to do first? First, I need to put them in a sensible order. So I'm going to twist them round. There we go. And I'm going to bring the Pritt stick in too. Okay, well, I think the highlighter and the... What's wrong? Why is that not right? That's not fair. Why is it not fair? The highlighter and the pencil are exactly the same length. They haven't all started at the same point. Ah, so the pencil starts here. Oh no. All right, I'm going to move the highlighter back. Is that better? Fantastic. Okay, let's check the Pritt stick. I might bring it a bit closer. Are we happy with the Pritt stick? Yeah? Okay, right. Well, now looking at them, we should be able to tell which is the longest and which is the shortest. So everyone's going to have a little look. I'm going to have a think about this. and I'm going to move my finger, and I'm going to move my finger and see if anything goes past it. Ooh, okay. And then I'd have to keep going. Move them a bit closer. We can always move things closer to help us. Okay, well, I think that the glue stick is the shortest. Do you agree? Why do you agree that the glue stick is the shortest? Because when you look at it, you can see that the pencil's longer. Well done. What about the highlighter? Great. You can see that the highlighter is just a little bit longer than the glue stick. So that makes the glue stick the shortest. Very good. And the pencil the longest. Fantastic. Let's go back. So we think that the glue stick is the shortest and the pencil is the longest. What does that make the highlighter then? What does that make the highlighter? Very good, nearly the shortest. We're not going to draw an arrow for the highlighter because we were only looking for the longest and the shortest. But if we were putting them in order, we know that the glue stick was the shortest, then it was the highlighter, and then the pencil was the longest. Very good. Okay, let's get some different items. This time I need a cup and a book. So I'm going to get you a cup and a book. Okay, now this time you're going to tell me what I need to do. I want to compare the length of these two objects. However, this time we're comparing height. Okay, so when I'm comparing height, I'm looking for the tallest and I'm looking for the shortest. Okay, so I'm comparing height and I'm looking for the tallest and the shortest. So let's have a little look. Here we go. I've got my cup. I'm going to make sure it doesn't go away. And I've got my book. Now, with the book, you can measure how tall or how short it is. Okay, so when we're measuring the book, this time we're measuring it this way round to find out how tall it is. And the cup we measure from here to here. Okay, so what do I need to do first? I need to put them in place. Okay, I'm going to put them in place. Perfect. Are you ready to measure? No, why not? You can't tell me which is the tallest and the shortest yet. Why? Because they need to start on exactly the same line. Okay. I've got my book. So where do I need to put the cup? Tell me where I need to put the cup. Next to it. Okay. You didn't say on top of. Okay, next to. There we go. It's next to. We still can't measure. Why not? Because it needs to start at the same point. Well done. I'm going to bring it down. Oh, hold on. It's not completely in. There you go. Now they're starting on the same point. Okay. So you have got 20 seconds to decide which you think is the tallest and which you think is the shortest. You're going to put me on pause. Remember, you can use your finger along the screen, just like Miss Banfield did. Remember, we'd be going this way and stopping when you get to the top of one of them, because that will tell us which is the shortest and therefore tell us which is the tallest. Okay, putting me on pause now. Right, well, what did you find? You think the cup is the shortest. Why do you think the cup's the shortest? Because when you moved your finger along the screen, you had to stop and the book hadn't finished yet. Well done. The book is the tallest and the cup is the shortest. Fantastic. We know that the cup is the shortest. I'm doing my arrow this way this time. And the book is the longest. Why am I doing my arrow this way? Because we're measuring height this time. Very good. If I was measuring length, I'd have to do it the other way. Fantastic. Okay, well, what we're going to do now is we're going to order them, which means we have to put them in the right order. And we started doing that, but we only drew the arrows. So we're going to try and order these from longest to shortest. Now we've got 3 things to measure, okay? So what we have to do is we have to make sure we get these things and measure them against each other, just like we did. But this time we're going to have to put them in order. Okay, let's see. So I've got my book, my toothpaste, and my highlighter. First thing I have to do is I have to lay them out. So I'm going to put my book there. I'm going to put my toothpaste there. And should have enough room for my highlighter down. Squeeze them in there. There's my highlighter. There's my toothpaste. Okay. So I've put them in a line. Now looking at this straight away, I think I can tell which is the tallest, longest, very good. Measuring length, I can tell which is the longest, and I can tell which is the shortest, because when I look at it, I immediately can see that the book is longer than both the toothpaste and the highlighter. So I know that the book is the longest. So I'm going to put that here. I'm going to move my book because the book is definitely the longest. Now I've got to look at my other 2. Now I know the book's the longest because it goes further than both the highlighter and the toothpaste. So now I have to figure out which is the shortest between the toothpaste and the highlighter. Let's see. Well, this time I can use my finger to help me. So I'm going to use my finger. I'm going to move it along and I'm going to stop when one of them stops. Oh, I'm stopping. Oh, can you see that? Yeah, I've stopped on the highlighter, but the toothpaste has still got a little bit of measurement left, which means the highlighter is the shortest. So if I'm putting them in order, the highlighter is in fact the shortest. It is shorter than the toothpaste. So I've ordered them from longest to shortest. I know my book is the longest because when we compared them, it was the longer of the 3 items. And when we had to compare the toothpaste against the highlighter, we found that in fact the highlighter was the shortest. Fantastic. All right, let's see if you can have a go. What are we going to be measuring this time? Oh, let's see. We're measuring a glue stick, a highlighter, and a pencil. Okay, so I'm going to get those for you. We're measuring from longest to shortest. So what am I measuring? Am I measuring height or am I measuring length? Length, very good. I am measuring length. So here they are. If I'm measuring length, am I going to put them like this? Why not? Because measuring length, we're moving along like this. Fantastic. So I'd need to lay it this way. Great. Okay. How am I going to measure them? What should I do? Can I measure them like this? Absolutely not. If I was measuring them like this, look, I'd say the highlighter's the longest. Would that be accurate? No. Okay, so what do I need to do? Lay the glue stick down. Okay. What else do I need to do? Move them next to each other. Make sure they start on all the same line. Okay, I'm going to do that. Now my glue stick keeps rolling. There we go. Have I done that? Perfect. Okay, I want you to decide which is the longest and which is the shortest. Okay. See if you can figure out one of them first. Which one do we think is going to be the longest? The pencil. Why do you think the pencil's the longest? Very good. Straight away, when you look at that, you can see that the pencil is most definitely longer than the glue stick and the highlighter. Very good. So where am I putting the pencil? Which box? This box. No, well done. Why am I not putting it in that box? Because that says shortest. Very good. This box. Very good. That is the longest. That is where the pencil belongs. Okay, we found the longest. Now we need to find the shortest. What am I going to do to find the shortest? Measure them against each other. Okay, can we already see from here? Okay, some of us can. What if we can't see? We can move them closer together. Okay, we've moved them closer together. There we go. Can we see now? Yeah, what if we can't see? We can use our finger. Okay, I'm going to stop my finger when I get to the end of one of these items. And stop. Very good. Why am I stopping? Because I've reached the end of the glue stick. Is there more of the highlighter? So which is longer? The highlighter. Which is shortest? The glue stick. Very good. Okay, so I'm going to put the glue stick in and then the highlighter. Perfect. Well done. No tricking you guys. The glue stick is the shortest, which means it needs to be here. And we found that the highlighter wasn't the longest, but it also wasn't the shortest. Fantastic. Okay, this time, this is all on you. I'm going to get my items for you. You're going to have to order them from shortest to longest. Okay, now what you're going to do is you can write this down. Okay, because for now you're not getting any items. Okay, Miss Bamford will put them on the table for you to look at. Okay, but for now you are just going to draw a cup, draw a book, and draw a glue stick. Okay, put me on pause and have a go drawing a cup, a glue stick, and a book. It doesn't have to be super accurate. We could draw a square for the cup, we could draw a rectangle for the glue stick, and we could draw a kind of curve shape for the cup with a handle. Okay, put me on pause until you've drawn them. Fantastic, you've drawn them. Okay, so what I want you to do is you're going to decide which is the tallest and the shortest. I'm going to show you them now, and you're going to put an arrow for the tallest and you're going to put an arrow for the shortest. But please check that I've put them there accurately. Okay, you know, Miss Bamfield, you've got to check. When we're doing tallest to shortest, we are doing height. Well done. See if I've laid them out accurately. No, why not? Because we're measuring height. Well done. Here we go. I'll put them accurately for you. Okay, I think I need to move my cup slightly up. There we go. I've laid them out for you. You're going to put me on pause and you're going to decide which is the longest. Nah, not the longest. Well done. The tallest and the shortest. Okay. And what I want you to do is I want you to write the longest next to the longest one and shortest next to the shortest one. Okay. All right. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do this. So put me on pause for 2 minutes. Remember, write longest next Tallest next to the tallest one and shortest next to the shortest one. Tallest and shortest because we're measuring height this time. Okay, putting me on pause. Now. Fantastic. What have you found out then? You think the cup is the shortest? Okay. Why do you think the cup is the shortest? Because if I was to move the glue stick along slightly, we'd see that it's taller than the cup. But is it the tallest? What was the tallest? The book. Well done. So when we're ordering, the book was the tallest, the glue stick was the shortest, the cup was the shortest. Well done. And the glue stick was the one in between. Fantastic. Well, everyone, I'm so impressed with all your work today. What you are going to do for your worksheet, you've got some things on your sheet that you can compare, but then you're also going to have to try and get some things in your house and compare them yourselves. Now, you can choose anything in your house, but it's got to be something that you can hold in your hands, okay? We're not going to be comparing big items today, just like Miss Banfield did. She compared a book, she compared a cup, she compared her toothpaste, she compared a pencil. You could pick a rubber, you could pick a piece of Lego, you could pick a doll. You can compare anything that you can hold in your hands, okay? Now, sometimes you might be comparing 2 things, sometimes you might be comparing 3 things. Please check if you're comparing length or height. It gets a little bit confusing, but remember, height, we're measuring how tall, the tallest and the shortest, and length, we're measuring the shortest and the longest. Okay, always check. All right, good luck, everyone.